Death. What is it but one of our greatest tricks? I know most people don't like hearing anyone say stuff about them understanding death or having experienced death or understanding anything about the subject, period. When people bring up death, it makes them feel uneasy. But I'm saying this from a place of knowing. And I want to say this so that people can really think deeply about the subject and reflect a little bit. So, when someone dies, the thing that is gone is their physical appearance. But other than the people you live with and see all the time, well, let's say your grandpa. Your grandpa and you may do some things together. Some people spend a lot of time with it. I'm using this example because a lot of people don't have a one-on-one closeness with a grandparent that often. But they're still close. You know, they have that sense of when they were younger, maybe the grandparent would do things with them when they were a baby, or maybe they just have that feeling of, you know, that's my ancestor and I owe them something, and that's fine. You know, all people are worth love. So, with not much needed to be said about the whole relationship part, let's just say that when you really care about somebody, and even when they're alive, you don't spend every moment with them. But in the back of your mind, is it more like this feeling of, Grandpa's getting old, and I love Grandpa. I don't get over there to see him very often, but I know that he's alive, and that makes me feel good. He's here in this physical body. You know, I can remember him in this physical body. But I remember when he was younger, but for some reason I only think of him right now as he is right now. If you think about the past and you think about the circumstances, remember the good parts. But other than that, be where you are right now. Each person you see, if you watch them grow, you realize that they're never, ever the same thing. In each day they change, each moment they change, but you don't notice it momentarily. You notice it over the long haul. Like a couple weeks later, you'll notice that they changed a little bit, or, you know, their facial hair will grow in a couple days, or, you know, over a couple of years, they'll get some more scars or start aging and getting wrinkles or something like that. But other than that, you don't notice it until, you know, a long time goes by and eventually they die and you're like, oh, they're gone. But each day they changed. That version of them was gone. So every person, you yourself are gone every moment. You're one moment here, one moment gone. One moment here, one moment gone. You're just the momentary reflection of what your body is held together by. Like the stuff you eat, the stuff you breathe, the stuff you think, those kind of silly things that we put out of our mind, but don't really take into account that that's actually what we are at all times. The more you're into the thinking about those things, the more you are really in control of your body and your life and everything around you. Yes, you may not be able to move things with your mind just yet. It is possible, but that would take a lot of effort and a lot of, you could do a lot of harm with that. So most people that would even learn how to do that have gotten to a point where they had to still their mind and use their heart so much to be able to do that, that they know that the possibility of going wrong with that ability is something that they don't really want to have. They don't want to be able to do that and get angry and move things with their minds in ways that would harm others. So basically, a lot of people have had the ability but refused to use it, or refused to learn it, or refused to develop it. Like I said, I've had some crazy things happen where I've done things and I'm like, whoa, and it freaked me out, and I'm like, I shouldn't do this. So, but it doesn't matter if people take that into account or not. It doesn't matter. I know my truths. So, with death, the greatest trick, every moment you die. Every moment. And that's not just a cliche statement. Like, did you cut your fingernails yesterday? Was that fingernail a part of you? Well, in every way, not just a fingernail, your cells, the thoughts, they may be reoccurring. The foods you eat, they may be the same thing. They may be out of the same box of cereal or the same basket of fruit. But either way, it's not the same thing. Although all things are one to that one effect. but they all came from the primary source that was nothing, and now they're going back into the nothing. An apple goes into your belly and comes out as poo, but that poo is still this apple seed, and you are still that little baby just added onto with all the things you ate and turned out to be this moment. So you are creating your moment in moment in moment until your physical appearance is gone. The you that was inside of you has always and will always be there. The consciousness is always there. And the more you're in tune with it, you can actually notice it other than your body. And that's the hard part to explain, because most people don't sense anything other than their body. They don't have the sixth sense or seventh sense. I would say seventh, eighth, whatever. I mean, I've been to weird mental places where there's more than one extra sense. There's dimensions of senses. It's weird. But that's weird stuff for people to go into, but that's when you get deeper into the mind, that's how deep it goes. It's how some complex organisms happen. That's how complex symmetry and complex geometry and all that kind of stuff happens. But we never die. Nothing dies. It literally just looks different. You look different tomorrow because you grew some facial hair. You look different in 10 years because you aged. You look different in 100 years because you supposedly died. But many people were born since then. And many people also died. And I'm not discrediting any life. Every life means something. There really is no color. It's just the way your eyes catch things, you know. But there's so much more to say about it, although nothing needs to be said. We who have seen the light want to share it and are trying our hardest to do it and say it in the best way possible so that people can understand and become part of the oneness and not part of the dumbness. So until next time, spread love, hope, and all those great things.